I never thought I'd be the kind of person who'd do something like this. The kind who shows up uninvited, who crosses the line everyone says you shouldn't cross. But when I tell you what led up to that night, maybe you'll understand. Or maybe you'll still think I'm the villain. Honestly, I'm not sure which one I am anymore. My ex, Ryan, and I were together for almost 6 years. We met in college, started dating right after graduation, and built a life that felt, at least to me, like it was heading towards something permanent. We'd looked at rings, talked about what city we'd move to after his promotion. I'd even given up a job offer out of state so I could stay closer to him when he said, "Don't worry, I'll take care of us." But us ended in March. He'd started staying late at work, claiming deadlines and team drinks. Then one night, when his phone buzzed on the counter while he was in the shower, I saw a message pop up. It was from someone named Lila. Just her name and a heart emoji. I didn't open it, I didn't have to. You know that sinking feeling when your chest just caves in? That was it. I confronted him. He swore it was nothing. Then he admitted they'd gotten close. Then he said he'd fallen for her. And just like that, 6 years went down the drain. I packed my things that night and walked out. For months, I did everything right. Therapy, journaling, deleting his number, ignoring the photos that still showed up in memories. But the truth is, heartbreak doesn't vanish just because you try to be healthy about it. It lingers like smoke in your clothes. Then last month, my friend Emily texted me a photo from a local restaurant. It was Ryan and her, Lila, sitting together at a table for two, laughing. He looked happy. Too happy. I told myself I didn't care. That I'd moved on. But something in me cracked. Fast forward to 2 weeks ago, a Friday night. I was driving home from work when I passed that same restaurant. I saw his car parked out front. I don't know what came over me. I wasn't planning anything. But I pulled over. I sat there gripping the steering wheel, watching people go in and out. My heart was pounding like I was about to rob a bank. I told myself I just wanted to see them. Just a glimpse, closure maybe. But I knew it wasn't that simple. After 10 minutes, I got out of the car. I walked in, pretending to be on the phone. The host looked at me, smiled, and asked if I had a reservation. I said, "Oh, I'm just meeting some friends. They're right over there." I didn't even know where there was until I saw him. Ryan was sitting in the back corner, in that spot we always used to ask for. The window table with the view of the streetlights. He looked up at her with that soft smile he used to give me when I was talking about something I loved. And she looked like everything I wasn't, elegant, effortless, untouched by everything I'd gone through. Something inside me burned. I walked straight over. When he saw me, his whole face froze. Lila turned, confused, and smiled politely. "Oh, hi," I said. "Hey, Ryan." My voice was too calm. Too steady. "Didn't expect to see you here." He stammered something like, Hey, wow, this is." "I know who she is," I said. "Lila, right?" Her smile faltered. She nodded slowly. "Yeah, that's me." "And you are?" I looked her dead in the eye. "I'm the ex. The one he said he was done with when you two started texting." The color drained from Ryan's face. "Okay, can we not do this here?" "Oh, sure," I said. "We can do it anywhere." "You want to explain how you were telling me you still loved me while you were taking her to the same restaurant we used to come to every Thursday?" People were staring. The waiter froze mid-step. I knew I should stop, but it felt like years of silence were pouring out of me all at once. Lila looked uncomfortable but didn't back down. "Look, I didn't know about you," she said softly. "He told me you'd broken up months before." I laughed too loud. "Yeah, that's what he said after he was already staying at your place." Ryan slammed his hand on the table. "Enough, Jenna, you can't just show up and humiliate me like this." "Humiliate you," I said. "You did that all on your own." The restaurant was dead silent. I could feel everyone's eyes on me. My face was hot. My throat ached. I wanted to cry, to scream, to vanish. But instead, I took a deep breath, grabbed the water glass from their table, and took a sip. Then I said, "You always ordered for me here. I never even liked the pasta you picked." And I walked out. You'd think that would be the end, right? It wasn't. 2 days later, he showed up at my apartment. He looked exhausted. "What the hell was that?" he said. I just stared at him. "You cheated on me, Ryan. You replaced me like I was nothing. You don't get to act like I ruined your night." He rubbed his forehead. "You need help. This, whatever that was, it's not normal." I laughed bitterly. "You think I don't know that? You think I'm proud of what I did?" He looked at me for a long time and said quietly, "You could have just called." That stung more than I expected. Because he was right. I could have called. I could have stayed in the car. I could have kept my dignity. But I didn't. I told him to leave. He did. But not before saying, "I hope you find peace someday." I didn't reply. The internet would call this a meltdown. My therapist would call it a moment of re-traumatization. I just call it the worst night of my life, and maybe, weirdly, the most honest. Because here's the thing nobody tells you about being cheated on. It messes with your sense of reality. You start questioning every memory, every word, every moment you thought was real. I spent months pretending I was fine, smiling through it, telling everyone I was healing. But seeing them together that night, it broke something that was already cracked. After he left my apartment, I sat in the dark for hours. I kept replaying his face at that dinner. Not angry, not shocked, just disappointed. Like I'd proven something he'd always believed, that I was too emotional, too much. And the worst part, I think he's still with her. A week after the dinner, I saw them again, by accident at a cafe downtown. They looked happy. She laughed, touched his arm, and he looked at her the way he used to look at me. For a split second, I thought about going up again. But I didn't. I just walked past, pretending not to notice. When I got home, I finally blocked his number. I deleted the photos. I even unfollowed mutual friends. But none of that made the memory of that night go away. Sometimes I still wonder what everyone in that restaurant thought of me. The crazy ex. The girl who couldn't move on. The one who ruined dinner. Maybe they are right. Maybe I was out of line. Maybe I'm the asshole for showing up, for embarrassing him, for not letting go. But part of me, the part that loved him enough to let him lie for months, feels like I deserved one moment of truth. Even if it was messy. Even if it was public. Even if it cost me the last bit of pride I had left. People say closure comes from within. But mine came from walking out of that restaurant with tears burning my face, realizing that I finally didn't care what he thought anymore. I cared that I survived him. Still, I can't shake the question. If the roles were reversed, if he had shown up on me, humiliated me in public, everyone would call him toxic. Unstable. But when a woman does it out of heartbreak, it becomes crazy ex energy. Maybe that's fair. Maybe not. All I know is, I didn't do it for revenge. I did it because I couldn't pretend anymore. And weirdly, I slept better that night than I had in months. So, am I wrong for crashing my ex's dinner with his new girlfriend uninvited? Or was I just a heartbroken idiot, finally breaking free from someone who broke me first?